Hey everybody, this is Jeff from Barely Controlled Chaos, and today is January 13th. I think it's the 13th. Wednesday, whatever day today is. And I kind of want to talk about setbacks today. Uh, Everybody has them in their life, and there's it's just about how you handle those setbacks. A good example of a setback here is this tree that I'm actually kind of standing on, kneeling on, whatever. This is a dead tree that we are taking down out of our woods. A lot of the trees out here are cedar because we live on the side of a hill and it grows really well in the rocky soil here. Um, but this one is not. This, I think, is an oak. It didn't have any leaves on it when I cut it down. But if you look closely in the background, you'll see it. You'll see a bent fence pole back there. This, I was trying really, really hard to get this tree to go that way when it came down, and it just wouldn't do it. And so now I've got the setback. That's the trail that goes all the way around the outside of our property that we use quite a bit. Now the tree's blocking that, so I got to cut it up and remove that. On top of that, I got to remove that pole over there. Luckily, it didn't do a lot of damage to the fence. It just bent one pole and didn't tear the fence at all. Just kind of pulled it down a little bit. Didn't really want to talk about that as much as I wanted to talk about setbacks. We've suffered our share of setbacks this year. We lost a goat early on when we first got the goats. We lost all of our guinea hens to the cats. We lost more than our fair share of the chickens, that the laying hens and the meat birds this year. But we you keep moving forward. And setbacks don't have to be big things like the loss of the goat, which she was expensive. You can suffer little setbacks, and sometimes it's those little setbacks that that are harder to deal with than certain big ones. So when we lost the goat, it's like, okay, well, we lost the goat. Okay, let's move on. But when you do other things, you get those little setbacks. Stupid tree fell on the fence. Now I got to fix the fence before I can put the electric fence up, before I can let the pigs out into the woods so that we can do truly pasture pork, which is what I want to do. And obviously, once I get working on getting bigger pigs, so it's those little things that just kind of grind at you. I've heard it described. Sometimes you deal with problems. The boulders coming at you, you can dodge those. If you get hit by one, obviously, it's a big deal, but you can dodge those. It's that sand blowing in your face all day long that just wears you down, and it's hard to deal with because, how do you deal with that? How do you recover from that? You can't. And those setbacks, they do tend to wear you down. And what I found, and it doesn't always work because it's hard to do, it's really, really hard to do, is trying to have that positive attitude about it. This is when Liam and I were out here cutting this tree and it came down. I was like, oh, jeez, it's going the wrong way. And we got over there, we laughed about it because we were like, oh, look at that fence pole doesn't look like it's supposed to anymore. But the positive is we also discovered that, and something I hadn't noticed before, was that our neighbor actually has a barbed wire fence on the other side of this fence. They don't use this pasture anymore, or at least they don't use it right now. But there's a barbed wire fence over there, and I didn't know that. So that's kind of interesting. But anyway, the point is, you got to try to laugh about some of these things. You got to try to let some of the setbacks go, because if you let those little ones pile up and be that hard, or not be able to handle them, then when those big ones come along, you're going to be so weighed down with sand that you're not going to be able to dodge out of the way of that boulder. Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner. And we'll talk to you tomorrow.